Hello and welcome to episode 6 of VocTer Gaming. I am your host, the vocal terrorist, Jesse Rain. We are here today with a Protoss vs Protoss during Protoss Week. Surprise surprise, which is featuring mouzMANA against mTwRINE. Some quick shoutouts before we begin. Again, TeamLiquid.net, the greatest StarCraft 2 resource on the internet right now. Well worth checking out. irc.funetic.net #gaming. Join us there on our IRC chan, where you can hang out with me and Nodus and L who run it, and chat about games, chat about StarCraft 2, the GSL, or any other kind of games. Also join in our Game of the Month series, which is currently running Borderlands. Quick background info on myself: I am the ring announcer for Future Shock Wrestling and also work for XWA up in Morecambe. This Sunday is Future Shock Wrestling at the Stockport Masonic Guildhall. If you live in the area, please come check it out. The Sunday after that is XWA's West End Brawl, featuring the students of the XWA Training Centre in Morecambe. Again, that one is just £3 entry. If you're around, give me a shout and we'll get you in there. But I'm going to jump into this game really quick now. Very tired, as per normal, but not been feeling too well this week. So just wanted to do a nice simple Protoss vs Protoss to look at the kind of problems it has, and it's a decent little game as far as Protoss vs Protoss goes. So we're just going to get straight in, we're just going to hit play. So over here we have mouzMANA in the blue, and over here we have mTwRINE as the green Protoss. This is on Metalopolis, one of the oldest and best StarCraft 2 maps. Will probably still be featured in Season 3, no doubt. So, the real problem with Protoss vs Protoss is you cannot expand. Ever. Unless you are oGsMC. In PvP, the first person to expand dies to a 4-gate pressure. And as we watch here, I imagine pretty much what we'll see will be standard Protoss vs Protoss. This is from the YOUR SC2 Cup. This is their first game, I believe, in their series. Not a lot to say really. Protoss vs Protoss is also, again, my least favourite matchup. My favourite matchup being Terran vs Zerg, as you may have noticed last week. And I do have some very fun TVZs to bring you next week. Don't forget, tomorrow, for the Friday video, I will be bringing you an excellent oGsMC match, which I have yet to find yet, or rather I have a few, should I say, ready to go, and I'll decide which one is the most exciting. Will be a lot longer than this game, I imagine. As we see the first gate going down now for both the Protoss. Very similar, very standard, a simulator following it. Both going to scout very quickly. Metalopolis, even though it's a 4-player map, is not the biggest of 4-player maps. It is, I believe in the YOUR SC2 Cup, they use the version of the map that does not allow cross positions, which does help slightly in any other matchup, but doesn't really matter on Protoss vs Protoss, as you will get 4-gated even on a map like Crossfire or Terminus. As we see now, not a lot interesting happening at the start of Protoss vs Protoss. What can I talk about? Cybercore going down from both players now. Very standard, very normal. All pretty much the same. This is probably one of the few Protoss vs Protosses I will commentate until something happens in the matchup to make it a bit more interesting. Don't forget, you too can send me your StarCraft 2 replays or links to StarCraft 2 replays you found online at VocTer Gaming. That's VocTer Gaming @gmail.com. I do watch them all, I will cast them all, as we saw with Sion's game last week, which he kindly sent me. Fantastic game, currently my favourite game so far since the inception of this programme a week ago. And now, Cybercore's finishing, Stalker's coming out for both. Being chrono boosted, need to get those Stalkers out nice and early. You need at least as many Stalkers as your opponent, because either you are going to attack and will need to kill them off, or he will attack and you need just as many to hold them off, and excellent micro. As we see, both bases looking almost entirely the same. Now this I like from mouzMANA. what I believe he's going to do is put 2 gateways here, completely blocking off the ramp, and then get a Twilight Council and blink Stalker. What this stops, and in fact, as we see, mTwRINE is in fact getting the Twilight Council before the 4 gates are even up. We'll be getting very quick blink Stalker. This is what this will stop. These gateways here, add in a few sentries, as we see popping out now, force field this, and they cannot blink up and past here. They can still blink up from here, don't get me wrong, but it just gives you that easier space to defend. It means they cannot move up this ramp properly. It's very, very clever. And of course it means if they are going anything other than Stalker beginnings, you can hold that off quite well. And as we see, Blink now researching as mouzMANA gets his Twilight Council. Is going to be behind on the Blink. Does look like therefore he will be defending against mTwRINE, whose Blink will finish before his. And as we see now, 2 more gateways popping up. Warp gate nearly finished. Will want to move out with a probe when he attacks. We'll want to put a pylon around here somewhere, allowing him to warp units directly into the fight, possibly even directly up the ramp, should he so wish. I really do like the double gate block rather than the gate pylon block. It is a bit later, but against Protoss vs Protoss, you're okay with that. But now as we see the pylon going down here. This will allow him to warp units in fairly close to the battle. We'll move in with that probe now, perhaps try and get some scanning done, but we'll not get past these Stalkers. That will alert mouzMANA to that pylon. He comes out but sees too many Stalkers here to fight. And now warping in 2 more. This is going to be a purely Blink Stalker move here, with mouzMANA's Blink far, far behind, but with a higher food count. That will help slightly in this defence. This is really good blocking off here though. This is going to completely stymie any kind of attack. If that sentry force fields correctly, which I'm certain it will. He knows Blink is there. He knows these Stalkers have Blink. mTwRINE now is just gathering up his forces, warping in as many Stalkers as he can afford, and once he is done, he's just going to move up here. He's going to try and push, and we're going to see whether or not that is effective. Whatever happens, this is pretty much the end of the game, unless mTwRINE decides to back off, as we see the food counts normalising now. Brilliant force field there, stops the Blink from going into there, stops the en masse Blink rather, and as we see now, if we just hop back to this base, he is getting a forge. But these Stalkers now, mouzMANA's Stalkers, coming in down here, blinking up, absolutely brilliant. mTwRINE completely lost. He's going to try and get up here, but cannot blink past that. The sentry's here to hold them off. As we go back into this base, we see all the probes going down now. Absolutely brilliant move from mouzMANA. Absolutely brilliant. mTwRINE has still failed to move into the base now. He's getting rid of all the probes from the base, but that's costing him dearly at the front. He is so far behind now. 29 food to 59 food. This game is virtually done. There is 1 probe left here with 1 Stalker taking down the Nexus. As these 3 probes now move forward. If we move to here, we see all these Stalkers here having done 0 damage to the front of mouzMANA's base. Making 1 last push in now. Trying to do something. Is not using his Stalkers correctly there whatsoever. And as we see, Mana blinks into his own base now. And could just hold these Stalkers off indefinitely, using the economic advantage he gained by killing all those probes to completely decimate mTwRINE. Rin just having absolutely no Stalkers left. mouzMANA is going to be able to take this out brilliantly, warps in a Zealot just to tank a few extra bits of damage. He's replacing his Stalkers so quickly, and as we see all these Stalkers go down and mTwRINE, GG's. That is the end for mTwRINE in this matchup. And that's Protoss vs Protoss for you. That is every Protoss vs Protoss in the world right now, other than oGsMC versus Liquid Huck from yesterday. There's not much more to say about it. You go 4-gate, you get Blink Stalkers, and one of you wins. I must say though, that was really well played by Mana to use the sentries, use the SimCity here to block off this ramp, to block off the blinking. Rin really could have done more with the Blink Stalkers, perhaps blinking them up here to try and take out a few probes. Did not realise though, until the Stalkers appeared over here in his base, that they'd even left That is just absolutely fantastic. A really good thing to get with that is get a few sentries out, get hallucination out, so you can hallucinate some phoenixes. Make sure your opponent's army is still in his base, because otherwise, as we see, he was completely blocked off from scouting. Great play from Mana, and that is pretty much it in terms of Protoss vs Protoss. I will be back tomorrow with oGsMC's game, which you will love because it will be amazing and it will be the best game we have had on this week, thank God. And then I will probably stop watching Protoss games again for a while. Next week I will bring you some TVZs again, maybe some TVTs, possibly a ZVZ. We'll see if I can find any interesting ones. With that in mind, if you have any interesting Protoss games, have any interesting ZVZs, any kind of replayer tool that you enjoyed, that you played, even silly things, because I like to take a break every now and then, send them to me, please, at VocterGaming@gmail.com. I will watch them all, I will get them all. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel, you can watch all the other videos. I have been running this for over a week now. Don't forget, it runs every Tuesday to Friday, every week, except when I'm in India in January. But don't worry, because that is 26.5 weeks away, so that is plenty of StarCraft 2 before I leave. That's everything for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.